nobody, like in the Star Wars fandom, nobody wanted a Han Solo film. It's not like it's like, oh my God, why are you making this? It's just, what is the point? Who is this for? Who is this movie for?
People who
money.
Like good movies.
Oh.
I mean,
but if you want to make money, at
Make an
least
Obi-Wan
listen to the
film,
fan base,
yeah.
because they're going to give you more money if you listen to them, or at least pretend to listen to them. Give us the Kenobi film starring Ewan McGregor that we have been crying for since they announced that Disney
they're
bought
probably
Star
also
Wars.
doing that. That's why I'm excited for the
There's
anthology
been
films.
no announcements.
No announcement.
Yeah, I think they're gonna end up doing it.
They
too.
have to end up doing it because Solo's going to bomb.
No, it's not gonna bomb.
It's not going
make
to
money.
bomb, but it's not going to make it nearly as much money as Last Jedi did, or Rogue One, or
It'll probably crack the
Force
$1 billion
Awakens.
club. If not,
I don't think
$900
I don't think it's going to
How
make
much
$1
do you
billion.
think it's gonna make?
I think it's going to make 800.
I think it's gonna make $1 billion because it's a Star Wars film at all.
Nope. I don't think it's going to make $1 billion.
I'm
I think
thinking at least 800.
word of mouth tanked Last Jedi by 200 million. I know that's not saying much because it still made over $1 billion, and that's a movie that split the fan base. I think Solo is going to be a movie that the fan base overwhelmingly agrees is bad.
No, I think the fan base that doesn't like the new movies is gonna like the Solo.
I don't think so.
Well, then
'Cause
again, we're just talking
the fan
about a
base
trailer.
that. Here's the thing, though: the fan base that didn't like the new movies are also the fan base that didn't like Rogue One. They just hate everything that isn't the original.
Oh no, I like the new movies, but I'm not a big fan of Rogue One.
But my point
I'm
is,
the
there
exact
are
opposite of
people
that.
who aren't a fan of the new movies and aren't a fan of Rogue One and aren't a fan of the prequels and aren't a fan of the TV shows. They just hate everything.
well,
that
Disney's not
isn't
going
the
after
original
them
trilogy
because they're not going to spend money on things that aren't the original trilogy.
Oh yes, they will, just to complain about
They
it.
will just so they can say,
Okay,
"I
but
saw
they
it
still
and
get
it's
their money then.
terrible."
Yeah.
But the Disney's, that's not their primary demographic, is people who don't like things that are new in Star Wars. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's not
that's true.
who they're going after.
I still think it's not gonna make $1 billion. I still think it's gonna be an overall bad film, and I still think that Childish Gambino is gonna be awesome in it. Cause
Oh, he's so gonna be so
He's
good.
so
I
gonna
love
be
me
good.
some Donald Glover. Dude.
I guarantee you, all the critics, no matter what anybody says, they loved it or they hated it. I guarantee you, all the critics are gonna say, "Yeah, Donald Glover, Lando."
Dude, so
Yeah,
Ian and I watched the original trilogy recently, as
Okay.
you know.
What
First
did
of
you
all,
think, Ian?
Okay, so R2D2 rees 3 times, 2 times, then 3 times, then 2 times again. So the second was the best one because he rees 3 times.
Okay, Jake, let's get a serious.
Okay,
I was
1 is really good. 2 is fantastic, like a perfect film. And then the beginning of 3 sucked, and then 3 got really good.
So you are an average Star Wars fan.
yeah, I was about to say, yeah, I'm a basic hoe. I love the second Star Wars movie the best.
Oh, it's so
but Empire Strikes Back for me. First of all, it's just near perfect film. It's just I can't really find fault. Second, Lando. If you had asked me, man, you know, who could you cast in the role of Lando? I'd be like, no one. Lando's
Billy
Lando.
D.
Billy D.
Williams.
Williams is God. I don't want to recast him.
Billy D.
And then you
Williams.
get Donald Glover, Childish Gambino himself, and you see him
Don
in the
Glover.
duds. And you see him like there's like a 2 or 3 seconds in the Han Solo trailer
Where he
he's
literally
sitting
just
down, he smiles.
smirks.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, I'm buying it. I'm buying it. up.
100%. He's got the same smug confidence
He
that
does.
Billy D. Williams
Yeah,
had with
it's
Lando.
He
fantastic.
doesn't just look like him; he feels like the character. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Like when Billy D. Williams first shows up on Cloud City, he is swaggering, he is bombastic, and you were like, this guy,
This guy, he has everything in order.
he has everything in order. He is on top of everything. And then you see him break down when it's like the Empire shows up. But then you see him redeem himself. And then you see him in episode 6, and he's just single-handedly taking down the Empire, flying the Millennium Falcon, the giant freighter ship through narrow corridors. And you 100% believe he can do this no sweat because it's
Because
Lando
it used to be
Calrissian.
his ship.
It used to be his
Yeah.
ship. I hope they get into that.
They will.
So
I think that's the plot of the film.
I want to get down to this. There is in the Legends, the original canon of Star Wars before Disney viciously murdered it.
These are the official versions of the film.
Yeah, that's what sucks. So in the Legends version, there's this little pocket called I think it's called like Han's Busy Week or something. Mm-hmm. And in this week, he partners with Chewie, wins the Millennium Falcon from Lando in a game of cards, and makes the Kessel Run. So a lot of people think this movie is going to be based on
That week.
or it's a weekend. It's like 3 days in Han's life where everything just clicks into place. So that's what a lot of people think the movie's going to be about. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, the basic backstory was Han used to be in the Imperial Academy. He didn't just get kicked out for having a mind of his own. He was a straight up Imperial officer. And one day he was transporting this cargo and he found out the cargo was Wookiees. And he was like, well, that's not okay. Breaks all the Wookiees out. Chewie owes him a life debt, so he comes with him. They become smugglers. Then they go to this club. They play Han's friend Lando in a game of Sabacc?
I think it's Sabacc.
I think it's Sabacc. Beats Lando. Lando's like never been beaten. And Lando bet any ship in his, armada. And Han, just to dig a little more at Lando, goes, I want the Millennium Falcon, which was like Lando's like prized possession.
Well, I think that Disney's saying that everything tying into the original trilogy is Legends as opposed to canon is smart, because if it was canon and they said, okay, we're going to make this definitely what happens, they have to read every single piece of Star Wars lore to make sure that their new films don't conflict, and they can't borrow story beats from them into work in the films.
Here's my point to that. You could have just gotten rid of everything that happened post episode 6 and still been fine, because there's only about 120 years of Legends material versus tens of thousands of years pre-episode 1 material. They wiped out roughly 28,000 years worth of backstory.
Well, I think the problem with that is that every fan has a different point where they'd wipe everything out, and I think you have your specific point, and it's
post episode 6,
that's their specific point.
But,
so I think that wiping everything out and make sure that it's all Legends, it's all stories.
Yeah, it's just
the easier option.
It just seems like you don't really care.
I wouldn't say that. I'd say that it seems that they want to do something new and inventive with it, as opposed to sticking to the same thing over and over again.
But it's not the same thing over and over.
Well, yeah, if you have to say that every tie-in comic book, every novelization, every TV show, everything is all canon.
Well, that's not inherently true. There was an accepted canon of certain things. Mm-hmm. There were comics that weren't considered canon either before Disney wiped it all out. But my point is, they removed a lot of stuff that like fans loved, like Knights of the Old Republic, one of the best Star Wars games ever made, with one of the most compelling Star Wars characters ever, Darth Revan, was suddenly not canon, and like people have been like, can that be canon again? Because like it had nothing to do with the original
they're not necessarily saying that the stuff that ties into the Star Wars movies isn't canon. They're saying that it's Legends, so it could be, it could not be, and they could draw on that in the future in a new future film. They could make a Knights of the Old Republic movie, which I'd be super stoked for, because that sounds more interesting.
Beautiful. Darth Revan on the big screen. A lot of people thought when the Force Awakens teaser trailer dropped, just based on his mask, that everyone thought Kylo Ren was Darth Revan.
Exactly.
And everyone was like, no, they did not. And then they were like, yeah, no, we didn't. And we were like, of course you didn't.
I like the model and setup that it looks. I've only seen 2 films. There's only 2 films announced of the anthology, but I like if they're going this route. If every other anthology film
is a solo film about someone.
Solo film about someone,
film, but like a
not
person,
a person in the Star Wars universe that we know, and also a time period or thing that happened in the Star Wars universe, like Rogue One and Han Solo. Then they could do Knights of the Old Republic, and then they could do a Darth Maul movie or something.
They could do like an Academy film too, like a Jedi Academy film.
I'm gonna say it. I don't think Darth Maul needs a solo.
Well, not him specifically. I'm just saying a person.
General Grievous. Please
Jar
redeem
Jar
my
Binks.
favorite.
Jar Jar Binks. All about the Gungans.
The Jar Jar Binks extended cinematic
But yeah, they could do
universe.
something like that. So I think, like Rogue One, Han Solo is an experiment into this territory, and I hope it works. I hope it's at least good.
I don't want to say I hope it doesn't work to the point where they never make another anthology film again, but I hope it teaches them you can't rush these things. Because, Han Solo had a lot of problems.
He's kind of a jerk.
No, I meant the production.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right.
That whole director replacement, and rewrites, and recasting, and I guess
they had to. I mean, they had a lot of PR fires.
Aldrich Killian, or whatever the guy who's playing Han Solo's name
Aldrich
is.
Killian is the villain of Iron Man 3, right?
I mean, he is, isn't he? I don't remember.
The villain to Iron Man 3 is played.
Stars as an actor.
I think it's like Aiden Killen or something.
It's like Aiden Elkohart or something.
We'll just call him Aldi.
Yeah.
Young Han Solo.
Yep.
I don't think he looks like him at all.
No, I don't think they were going for that.
I don't
that
think they
doesn't
should
bother me.
It bothers me because he doesn't look like Harrison Ford.
As long as he feels like the character.
That's fine.
And in the trailer of the 3 or 4 lines I've heard, I'm buying him as Han Solo.
I did not buy him at all.
No,
We're good. We're all good. We're okay.
I feel like he's
We're okay.
I feel like he's a little
but he says
bit.
stuff like that. Remember when he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine. We're all fine. Yes, we're fine here." How are
Okay,
you?
that is a completely different context.
But the ideology of just like, "Oh yeah, it's totally fine. Just go with it." It's kind of just the Han Solo character.
No.
From what I've seen,
I feel
of
like
the
I need to
films,
see
and
more.
I haven't read a billion stories. So
I feel like I would need to see a little bit more to determine. Because from what I've gotten, he's like.
But my point is,
Okay.
young Han Solo allegedly was so bad that Disney hired him an acting coach halfway through production.
Oh my god!
I think that's acting coaches because a lot of actors have acting coaches. You might as well make sure that you have the best product possible.
But my point is they demanded he get an acting coach or they fire him. Allegedly.
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 And some of these alleged things are very true, though.
Like Zack Snyder getting fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's hoping that it's
A good film.
at the very least good.
It's the first Star Wars movie that I'm like, I'm not buying a ticket for this way in advance. I'm going to wait until reviews come out, and then I'll decide if I'm going to go see it.